record. Here we go. So, when you committed or when you're being recruited, a lot of people were already familiar with your family because tell people who your uncle, godfather, or grandfather are, so they
my grandfather is Bill Rosinski. He worked for the Panthers, the Falcons for quite a long time, worked with ESPN. And then my uncle is Bobby Rosinski. He works with the Charlotte 49ers. He's on the broadcasting team for them. So I feel like if you're in the Charlotte area, you've definitely heard of one of the two of them.
Absolutely. And are you going to end up being a broadcaster after football? Or
I'm not really sure.
Not really sure?
I mean, if I end up doing that, I end up doing that. It's not going to be related to them. If it is, it's cool. But
so how is your adjustment? Got to ask everybody. You're early enrollee. It's a different world for you now.
It's good. It's good. I mean, I'm well fed, having fun with school.
Everyone's talking about the food.
Oh, it's awesome.
It's
awesome.
Davian actually said he thinks that they're feeding him too much.
Oh, I can never be fed too much.
So,
but
do they have you on? I'm sure they have you on a regimen.
Yeah.
So, I mean, from an eating standpoint, what is that regimen? What's that routine?
I mean, it's 3 meals a day, guarantee, with more or less making sure that I get enough food for every meal and just making sure that I'm eating the amount of calories I need to gain weight.
So there's certain kinds of food that you have to pay a little more attention to now than in high school, right?
I mean, yeah, but I feel like we're getting fed better food, and I feel like whenever I go up there, everything they have set out is something that I can eat and that I probably should eat. Yeah. So it's more or less grab as much as you can and eat, which is nice.
That sounds very appealing at your age.
Oh, extremely.
So what is your height and weight right now, and what is the goal weight?
6'6", about 275 right now, and they want me around like 295, 300.
295, 300 is, I would imagine, adding the weight and maintaining your agility and your quickness. So what kind of work do you do in order to do that?
Just a lot of speed and agility. We do a lot of that with the team. So working on my technique as well, just making sure that whenever I do put on that weight, I still have the ability to move.
So the other guys were asked, I've asked them all, what's the wow college moment? When you realize, oh man, I'm a college football player. What is your wow college football player moment?
Honestly, it was before going to the All-American game, because I was only home for 3 days since that point. So my wow college moment was realizing I'm leaving. And when I hopped on the plane to head up here from San Antonio, it was, wow, I'm not going to be home.
Has that been tough at all?
A little bit, but having my family come up here, say hi, get to hang out with them has definitely helped a lot.
How's your voice?
I'll say it's solid.
I was just reading your bio.
Granddad. I was asking about that.
Yep.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, I mean, that's cool.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. Especially with having family connections to a lot of different areas, it's definitely fun.
Yeah, like, what are the perks? Maybe perks is the wrong word. What are the cool things about being a kid growing up where you have that access to things those dudes are doing?
My grandpa was best friends with Jim Ross. If you ever watch AEW, watching that stuff, being able to know, oh yeah, my grandpa has his number.
Sure.
And then having like...
Doesn't he have like barbecue sauce or something? Is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And then one of like the Falcons legends, Jeff Van Note. He's best friends with him still to this day, but like it's really cool to have the access to, especially the knowledge, and even hear him knowing Kevin Donnelly. That's when my uncle was on a radio station with him. So having people that I know before that personally here is really nice, and just knowing that even outside of the family that's here, I also have people that are family friends here, so
they know the business.
Yes, they know the business of sports, and they understand the business of broadcasting, and I guess putting yourself out there. Yeah, if that makes sense.
Have you heard
day to day? Yeah.
Have you heard Kevin Donnelly yell yet?
Yes, I have quite a few times before
how is that?
And since I've been here.
Well, how different is it here?
A little bit, not crazy amount.
He's got some energy, huh?
Quite a bit.
Yeah, Duke week, he's usually ringing the victory bell. The victory bell when they beat Duke, that's usually he's laying on that.
They have to pry it from his hands.
I bet the sports trivia, like when you guys have family get-togethers, Christmas, whatever. I bet the sports trivia is off.
It's anything competition-wise.
Yeah.
It's my whole family. It's awesome, though. knowing that there's some competition, no matter what event it is.
Right.
Sports trivia to Monopoly, you're all going after it.
Right.
How often do you win? Or do you ever win?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
It's hard to beat my dad, hard to beat my grandpa, but I occasionally win, I think.
So what are their thoughts about you playing? I know that your grandfather is pretty active on Twitter, very proud. What are their thoughts about you playing at this level?
Yeah, no, they definitely are excited. It's a, I guess, cool experience to have that much background, all excited, and most of them have a media presence with that, so it's kind of fun to see them brag on me a little bit, and then seeing some random people that are like, oh, they know who I am.
Are you a tackle?
Yes.
Left tackle, right tackle, does it matter? Where
it doesn't
would
really
you say you
decide.
project?
One of the two tackles. I don't really know projection-wise right now. I mean, I've played right, I've played left in high school, so there isn't really a set position for me.
I guess it differs when you have a left-handed and right-handed quarterback too, right? Like,
That is very true, because
Yes.
Connor and then Max, two completely different sets of O-line you would almost look at with that setup, so it's definitely interesting.
Yeah, Andrew, I mean, sorry if you've been, asked this already, but I mean, just, you kind of bring up, your spots on the line, things like that. What's it been like kind of getting to know, obviously, Randy Clements to this point, and just kind of what do you observe about his, his coaching style?
It's good. It's definitely no nonsense, if it makes sense to that extent. Yeah. It's a lot of, let's get the technique right, and we're going to do it right. If you don't do it right, you're going to do it again until you get it right, which is something that I like, because if you're going to do it right.
What do they say? Do it right, do it right, do it light, do it wrong, do it long.
I guess that's
I've
heard
the
the
90s
saying.
saying for you.
How much of a challenge has that been? Because big dudes like you in high school don't have to rely on fundamentals too much. And for linemen on both sides of the ball, they get to college, suddenly they have to rely heavily on fundamentals. In a lot of cases, they have to learn the fundamentals.
Honestly, the thing that I did pride myself in high school was fundamentals, because, I mean, the division football I played was 6A Georgia football.
Yeah.
I'm going up against guys that are bigger than me, especially when I was coming up through high school as a sophomore and junior. I was 265 pounds as a junior and 230 pounds as a sophomore. So I had to more rely on being able to move people off technique and having to rely on that in pass pro as well, because those guys are faster than me and they're older than me, they're stronger than me. And honestly, I've just kind of hit the reset button. Now I'm bigger with better technique, and I just got to restart that process going up against guys that could be first-round draft picks.
So do you think it kind of puts you ahead of what might be the typical curve for a guy coming in?
I believe so, especially with all the training that I got outside of my school, especially with all that.
You do a lot of camping?
I did a lot.
A lot of football camps?
Yeah, I did a lot of football camp.
You got to clarify.
It's a great question.
It is a good
I like to
question.
build a campfire. Like, that's relevant.
No, I did quite a few camps over the 2 years that I did them. So
So you got to go against a lot of dudes there, too.
oh yeah, absolutely. I thought it helped improve myself as well and improve my development from year to year.
How quick are you off the snap?
I'd say pretty good. I have to be.
Yeah.
And with especially these guys here, it's going to be even have to be faster now. So
Is there a built-in connection at all with Austin, the Georgia transfer, since you guys are Georgia boys? Like you're talking about playing 6A. I remember we were talking to him not long ago. He was like, "Yeah, I played 5A," and 6, is there any sort of connection there?
I mean, there's always the connection. If you're from a similar place, you're going to end up knowing a lot about the places that you're from. But I feel like with him being as much older as he is from me, I mean, it's more of just kind of, oh, it's cool. Not really a connection. Like I'll probably know more people if they were coming in for my friend Aiden, who I think you were.
Keep going. You're good.
Yeah, we talked.
You interviewed him earlier,
Yeah.
and that was I know a good bit of his friends. We live probably 45 minutes apart before we moved up here. So that's more Georgia connection would be more my age. I've played against guys that are at other schools right now starting. So it's cool to see that as well, having the connections, being able to go up and go, oh yeah, I know that guy across the field from me.
Right.
So why'd you come here?
I guess the distance was good. You're not going to find a better academic school as well with that. It's the good medium, I guess is how I could put it.
Combination football academics.
The combination, especially with this football team being top 25 basically every year and just kind of having to figure it out is a good situation to be in, knowing that we could be a lot higher right now, especially with the team we have. Like, I have no doubt in my mind that we could be top 10 easily. So.
We were talking about with Desmond Jackson a minute ago about some of the equipment you guys have here for the offensive line.
Yep.
And he was talking about tying his hands together so he doesn't keep them apart. Or like, what is that stuff you've been using and we've liked?
We have like bands that we put around our ankles for taking
I've seen
sets.
those. Yeah.
Yeah, those are awesome. They've been a really good help for a lot of guys, I feel like, with being able to get quickness out of your sets, having the resistance between your legs, especially with working to keep them the right distance, and also being able to explode out of your stance with that is always good. And some people have to do the hand ties because if you're taking a set with your hands wide apart, that's not good because they're going to get to your chest real quick. Yeah. So I have seen those be used, and it's definitely a good piece of equipment to help with those issues.
The punishment then is what you're saying. Yeah, we got you. Yeah.
Not punishment, it's just an aid.
What's been your least favorite one to use? Do you have one that you hate?
Not really. Yep.
Okay.
We'll check back.
Check back with me in 6 months.
Check
I might
back
be able
after
to tell
spring
you.
practice.
Might be able to tell you then, but none so far. I like most of the equipment we're using. They all have a purpose, and it's been nice to see that.
Awesome, man.
Where